You know how I started in law enforcement? Right out of high school on a Police Explorer program.
Really?
It's a great program. And I just can't imagine, you know, you're 17, you want to be a police officer, and you wind up murdered, and the case isn't solved for, now we're going on 14 years to the day almost.
Yeah.
Steve and I are here in Mississippi to investigate the tragic 2007 murder of 17-year-old Selena McCoy. She was a fun, feisty teenager and was so excited about her brand new first car. She was also a member of the Police Explorers program with the hopes of maybe one day becoming a cop.
This is really a dark case. I mean, you got a 17-year-old girl, wants to be a police officer, which, you know, resonates with me, and she goes missing. So her dad goes out looking for her. I can imagine that as a father. You're going to go out and try to search all of her haunts.
Pounding on doors.
Start with the friends, and when she's not there, what do? Late one night in August, Selena disappeared. Her father's search led him to a local motel, where her boyfriend and some of his friends were having a party, acting strangely, and claimed they hadn't seen her. 2 weeks later, her body was found decomposed near the railroad tracks. She had been strangled.
Was it a party that went crazy? Were they mad at her? Was she mad at all of them? It just feels like getting her from where she's murdered to where her body is found is going to involve probably more than one person.
This is a tough case because there is still so much we just don't know about the last night of Selena's life, and there could be multiple suspects involved. They might be unwilling to talk, and they might cover for each other. Our hope right now lies in all those other witnesses from the motel room that night, because they might be the key to getting answers and justice for her dad.
Somebody here knows what
Oh, a
happened.
lot of them know, because you know they talk, they're immature and
Absolutely.
young. Maybe they can tell us a whole bunch more information today.
It has been 16 years and still no answer.
Please consider her killing a cold case.
Years later, the case is still unsolved.
I've chosen cold cases from across the country and teamed up with the best detectives to solve them. We're more determined than ever to bring justice to these victims. Hello.
Hello, how are you? Fred Shelton, Chief of Police, Columbus,
Nice to
Mississippi.
meet you.
I'm Keith Gasker, the newly elected mayor.
Oh, wow, newly elected. And you must be Rick?
Yes, Captain Rick Jones.
Sergeant Eric Lewis. Nice to meet you, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. We're excited that you're here, and I told the mayor about it. He thought it was an awesome idea.
It's 14 years old, this case, and so we really want to find closure for the family and the citizens of Columbus.
This case is near and dear to us because this young lady was a police explorer. So it's like she was a part of our family.
Selena just threw herself into the program. She was always here, always participating. She was very smart. She had dreams. She had goals. She'd say, Sergeant Rick, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to make something myself.
Show us our room.
Let's get started.
When I found out about Selena's death, I was sick about it. Her death had a huge impact on Columbus Police Department, and I would really like to see some justice for Selena.
So, when you talk to Selena's dad, David, how does he describe his baby?
That is his heart and soul. Very emotional about her. She was spunky. She was fun to be around. Sweet kid. She had a whole future ahead of her.
I know. All right, what's the beginning of the story, Captain?
She was living with her mother, unfortunately, kind of loosely, but she would stay with her boyfriend, JR. Selena and JR had a very volatile relationship. We'd had people that had saw them arguing on August the 2nd, 2007, and then nobody saw her again.
Okay.
The mother contacts Selena's father. He immediately starts getting out looking. There was rumor that she went to a hotel room, and he went and checked that out. She wasn't there. They filed a police report on a missing person, and everybody just thought she just kind of ran away.
The details of Selena's last day are scarce, and initially some people thought that she just left town. But as the days went on and nobody heard from her, suspicions grew that something terrible had happened.
On August the 14th, 2007, a young man let his dogs loose in the area of the railroad tracks. They wouldn't come back, so he went and looked for them, and that's when he found Selena's body. Body was in really bad condition. It had been exposed to the elements, it had been exposed to animal activities. She had a rope and a scarf around her neck. So that was the indication that she was strangled.
It's a brutal way to die.
Selena's body was so badly decomposed, it was impossible to figure out if there were any signs of sexual assault, which may have helped narrow down the possible pool of suspects. But we sent the ligatures found on her neck off to the lab for DNA testing, and we're hoping for a break.
The investigators started running down leads, talking to a lot of people that was close to her. And everybody said that something happened at Gilmer, a hotel. There was supposed to be a party that was going on, and there was supposed to have been some activity that happened. She was possibly strangled, and they transported her from the hotel to the railroad track.
Some of that's hearsay and gossip, and some of it's accurate. We don't know yet,
right?
But do y'all feel like there's going to be at least a lot of people that know something because they're all involved with what happened that night?
Yes. They were either a part of it or they were, after the fact, helping dispose of the body.
Did Selena's boyfriend kill her after their argument that night? Did she even make it to the hotel? Did someone at the party kill her, help move her body, and then cover it up? How many people are really involved, and why would they do it? There are a lot of suspects in this case. Let's start out with J.R., and his real name is?
Anthony Seals. He was 17. He had a violent temper. He would hit her, slap her around. I've seen them arguing in the street.
Really?
When I was on patrol. I had to chase him off.
He's got aggravated assault, simple assault, domestic violence.
Wow.
At one point, JR tells Josh, you tell him I wasn't in the hotel, because he's trying to create that alibi not being there. According to JR's friend Josh, JR asked Josh to provide a false alibi, claiming he was out of town, which makes me wonder if JR had something to hide. And according to JR's friend D'Angelo, JR was acting suspiciously on the night that Selena disappeared. Later on, when it was dark, JR left and went to Selena's house. JR was gone for about 1 or 2 hours. When he came back, he was very shook up.
He gives us our window.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our start with JR. While many rumors point to JR as the main suspect, we have to keep in mind that a lot of our information comes from his close friends who were reportedly also attracted to Selena, may have been at the motel that night, and rumored to have been involved themselves. Okay, so let's put up D'Angelo Fisher next. They include D'Angelo Fisher.
At one point, D'Angelo, he's with JR in jail.
And D'Angelo told JR to be quiet.
Yep. If you say anything, I'll kill you.
And that could be D'Angelo telling him to be quiet because D'Angelo's involved, or just telling him to be quiet because, dumbass, shut up, you're going to get yourself in trouble.
Right.
Josh Clark.
He's a friend of JR.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a friend of both of them, right?
Yeah, he likes Selena. There's the story that he gets rid of his car about a month or two later, that may have been used to transport Selena to the dump site.
We have a man named Solomon Kelly who goes by the nickname Smooth.
He was walking down the street, half naked, looking to the sky, saying he was sorry about Selena's death.
And lastly, Michael Sparks. Michael Sparks is JR's best friend.
And he also lies for JR, and he puts JR in Brooksville, I think, to lie for him that he was not here.
Lies for JR. We have a lot of little pieces that all by themselves don't seem like a lot. Hopefully, with the right witnesses from the motel party, along with a little bit of luck, we can put them all together and create a clear picture of what happened that night to Selena.
Baby, I need some time alone to be by myself.
When you heard that her body was found and you realized it was the girl that you knew, what'd you think?
It made me sick, knowing that her life was cut short and she didn't have an opportunity to grow up. How any parent deals with this is just beyond me.
I wish everything would stop.
Selena's daddy tragically lost his teen daughter. And on top of that, he's had to suffer for 14 years not knowing what happened to her the last night of her life. I think it just makes a parent feel good to know that you're trying. You're always trying. You never quit trying,
And she's not forgotten.
Right. Sadly, the ongoing strain from the loss of her daughter has been too much for Selena's mom, Donna, to bear, so she's not going to be joining us today.
Hello there.
How you
I'm
doing?
Kelly.
Kelly,
Very
my
nice to
name
meet you.
David.
But we're eager to sit down with her dad, David, to talk to him about Selena and our plan to try and get him some answers.
I just wanted to start off with you just kind of sharing what kind of person Selena was.
Well, she's a very respectful young lady. She was always real outgoing. She was friends with everyone, willing to help anybody. She loved to do hair. She was an A student in school. She always talked about being a police officer, you know. She just wanted to grow up and to be someone to help her family. I keep her urn right on the shelf with a picture on it. You know, I made promise to her that I'm not gonna stop, not gonna give up, you know, until we get this case solved. She was a sweet child, sweet child. Break my heart, you know, for that to happen to her at a young age. She didn't live a life. But I know I gotta keep strong for her, because that was my baby. When I got the phone call that she was missing, you know, I said, well, maybe she's over a friend's house.
Y'all start calling all of her friends?
Yes, yes. It was a Friday night and no one had seen her. So at that time, I went to the Gilmore Hotel and I heard a lot of noise in one room. When they opened the door, I seen JR in there.
Okay. Who else did you see in there?
There was several more people in there, you know, like they were having a party. I said, JR, you seen Selena? He really didn't look me dead in my face. He said, nah, I ain't seen him.
Do you think that he was telling you the truth? Or just the truth
I didn't believe him.
You didn't believe
I
him?
know he knows something.
It's clear that Selena's father believes that JR may have played a part in Selena's murder, but something's not making sense.
Okay, so I'm confused. We're thinking that everything happened on August the 2nd, which I think was a Thursday. So you got the call when?
Friday.
The next day, okay.
The next day.
So I had it wrong. So this is a whole 24 hours after we think something's happened.
We believe that Selena was killed on Thursday night, and her dad is talking about Friday night. And I think that might mean the motel room and what happened inside is pretty much irrelevant. We just lost a whole world of witnesses.
Okay, so I'm confused. You got the call when?
Friday.
The next day, okay.
The next day.
Okay.
We just learned that Selena's dad wasn't even aware of the fact that she disappeared until 24 hours later. And that's when his search led him to that motel party.
So whoever's in the motel room at this point, it's not as crucial as I was thinking, because I was thinking he went knocking on the door the very night it happened, but it's 24 hours later.
Based on a lot of rumors, we really wanted to think that the witnesses in the motel room knew what happened. But now it feels like that had nothing to do with our murder.
Everything we can think of to do, we're going to try, okay?
I really, really appreciate it.
This case might be even harder to solve than we thought.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you.
But we're just getting started, and we're not going to give up.
Thank you.
Come on, lady. You doing all right today?
Yeah, doing great.
These guys are all excited to meet you.
Hi, Dr. Perry.
Well, Dr. Perry, Captain Rick Jones.
Selena was strangled to death with 2 ligatures, her own scarf, and a little piece of rope. We've asked forensic pathologist Dr. Kathy Paneri to come in and share her insight about her cause of death.
I'll just give you some insight on what I saw. So Selena was found in a field on August 14th, about 12 days after she was last known to be alive. She has advanced changes of decomposition. And then there's evidence of animal predation. That can be a very tricky thing because some of them have very sharp claws or teeth, and they can look like incised or cut wounds.
Like down on her hip area, seeing a straight line.
If this was an injury that happened before she died, it would undergo decomposition faster than an intact area. If this were my case and I was presented with determining the cause and manner of death for this female found out in a field with the ligatures around her neck, I would classify the cause of death as ligature strangulation.
With the double ligatures, would you consider this to be an overkill? Because one of them could have done it.
One of them is very thin and one of them is very broad, so they're going to have different levels of compression. But the broader the ligature, the more spread out the pressure is going to be. Maybe you're not getting enough compression with the larger ligature, so maybe you want to use the smaller ligature to actually compress the blood flow better. And so I wouldn't say overkill, but it does kind of suggest that maybe there was a problem with the first mechanism. Maybe you're not getting full compression of both sides of the carotid arteries.
The fact that they went and got a second one goes to show deliberateness and cold-bloodedness, and sure as hell it shows intent.
Now, on the broad scarf, okay, it's not working.
Yeah.
So is she going to be so incapacitated that she's just going to lay there and wait for you to come back, not try to get away? Or is there somebody else?
Do you have a helper?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
We've sent Selena's ligatures off for touch DNA analysis with the hope of identifying which of our 5 suspects may have touched the ligatures. It's a long shot, but it could be the big break that this case has needed for 14 years.
If you're going to find something somewhere, that's going to be where it is.
This is Greg Merchant, our coroner.
Nice to meet you. We have ruled out the idea and rumor that Selena was killed in that motel room and then transported to the railroad tracks. But it's still a mystery as to how her body ended up here. It looks a lot different than I thought it would. I'm feeling like it's way more isolated than y'all said. Hopefully, with the local law of the coroner and our fresh set of eyes, we can come up with a better idea and appreciation of how she ended up here. Which way is it to where Selena lived with her mom, Donna?
About 4 blocks away through
Can
those
you,
trees.
back then, could you walk right through the trees?
Yes.
You got a path that crosses the tracks to an area over there. And it's heavily traveled, and the tracks itself are heavily traveled.
This area by the railroad tracks was a popular shortcut for Selena and our suspects. It was the perfect place to dispose of her body because it was hidden and isolated, but still easy to get to.
She was over in this tall grass, about midway of that grove of trees there.
You think that's, what, 20 yards from us right now?
Yeah.
Okay. You're thinking that whoever brought her there carried her directly from where out here?
Easiest way was to access it from Warren Street. They could have driven to right here. But, you know, I don't know that it's a proven fact where she was killed.
Right.
It could have very easily have happened right here. The button from her jeans was found here, away from the body. Like there was a struggle that took place here.
And also, her flip-flops are found up here close to the tracks.
Right.
I think if she'd have ran, those flip-flops would have came out. You know what I'm saying? If she's being chased out here.
I think everything happens here.
I do.
And they could have just been meandering through here, and she's thinking there's nothing unusual going on, taking the path. So the whole worrying about carrying a heavy body or putting her in the trunk of a car, we might not even need to worry about.
Walk up out here in the dark and do what you're going to do and then continue walking.
But you got to have a rope with you.
Well, this was a small length of rope, something that could very easily been put in a pocket.
We considered the fact that Selena was murdered someplace else and then transported to where her body was found. But the evidence suggests a much simpler story, that Selena was killed while walking in that area. If that's the case, maybe the fact that her friend Josh got rid of his car soon after the murder isn't as suspicious as we thought.
Well, thank you very much for coming out here. We appreciate it.
Well, thank y'all.
Hello. I'm Kelly. I'm Jessica. You're Jessica.
Tiffany.
Miss Tiffany, nice to meet y'all.
You know me, Jimmy. I'm with the police department. This is Steve.
How you doing?
We wanted to ask some questions on that Selena McCoy case.
It's Sergeant Lewis again. I can ask you a couple questions on Selena McCoy.
Many of the rumors about Selena's murder involved her being killed at a motel party. But we now know that the motel room actually happened 24 hours after we believe that she was killed.
We're just not getting an opportunity to relook at some of the facts.
What we need are witnesses who saw or heard something about the night before to piece together what happened and give us evidence to try and confront the suspects with.
Selena was staying with me, and JR sent someone out there to pick her up.
I mean, she reached out to a lot of people on that day or that night before she came up missing.
That night, she had got in the car with some dude and left.
She was calling around for people to pick her up. Everywhere she went when she caught a ride with this guy, Big Bang Smooth. That's the car that they found her blood in, but the car ended up getting crushed. And then he started going crazy.
Why would you describe perfectly your car? What's wrong with that car?
The car you're thinking of that got crushed and belonged to Smooth. I thought it belonged to Josh.
A guy called D. He was like the boss of all of them.
D'Angelo Fisher.
Yeah, that's him.
You know, they say when they got done doing what they doing, they put it in the back trunk of Smooth car.
She was in the trunk of somebody's car.
They feel Smooth trunk.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you who else we definitely know. Josh. He disappeared as well after him. We always see him. She used to ride his car.
He used to come pick Selena up. He had a Christian Selena too.
Who do you think killed Selena?
Next man, he had a white hat on, a hard hat. He came around there with her in the car.
Well, who'd you hear that from?
I heard that from somebody.
Yeah, somebody.
It's our first day of talking to real witnesses. Nobody's got any good, hard, solid information that's not a rumor. Nobody's ever asked any questions directly of anybody that everybody thinks is involved. The hope was that they might not have firsthand information, but there would be a working theory that was kind of consistent on what happened to Selena. And we don't even have that.
Knowing how guilty people feel, knowing how guilty people are, you're gonna say something eventually, and you're gonna have to confide in somebody.
Even if it's because the next time your next girlfriend pisses you off, you say, bitch, I'll do you like I did Selena.
Right.
Columbus Police Department investigator Caitlin Hicks and I are headed to talk to one of our suspects, Josh Clark. He was friends with Selena and her boyfriend, JR, though some people say he also had a crush on Selena.
Alrighty.
We no longer believe that a car was used to transport Selena's body, so the rumor that Josh got rid of his car shortly after her murder may not be as relevant.
I don't know what happened. I honestly don't. And it's the same statement I have all the years.
I hope this time is different.
But we do have a lot of questions, including why JR asked him to lie about where he was that weekend.
We're pretty sure Selena gets murdered on Thursday, August 2nd, 2007. And so our hope was that sometime after she went missing, before she's found, in those 12 days, you were hanging out with JR and he might have told you something.
No, I wasn't hanging out with no JR.
Why not?
Because I was in Knoxville County working with my pastor.
I'm gonna see if there's some little piece in here that jogs your memory, okay? Look right here. You're saying, JR was talking to me, asking me, he wanted me to help him to explain to the police, you know, that he was with me and stuff, and you said I can't.
Oh, I said, I don't lie for nobody. You calling me and harassing me and said, I will get you locked the hell up. I said, because Selena did not deserve that. Selena was a nice person. I told you could do better. Leave JR alone. He out here in the streets. He got kids on his own. He don't deal with his own baby mama.
What'd she see in him?
I guess the love.
Okay.
They was in love.
Because he was abusive.
See, ain't all this stuff ain't start coming to later on.
So you never witnessed any kind of abuse between
Not
the
in
two?
my own two eyes,
Right.
actually.
Right.
Never.
Josh seems really forthcoming, and he seems to have genuinely cared for Selena, but he can't say anything for sure about JR's possible involvement.
Well, how about the name Michael Sparks?
I ain't never trust that scam.
Really? Some people say he was JR's best friend.
That was JR's best friend.
Okay.
So no.
So if there's anybody that might know something,
It will be him.
some people say that you got your car crushed right after this happened and you hurried up and
No,
sold
man.
your car.
I sold my car because my motor had went out. The car been sitting out in my yard over a month.
Though Josh doesn't have much in the way of concrete evidence, he does have a solid reason for disposing of his car.
Whoever did it should pay.
Josh was very cooperative. He spoke with us for over an hour, and he demonstrates no reason for wanting to hurt Selena. He didn't hold back, and when someone demonstrates genuine effort to want to help you, you can tell. There's so many rumors in this case, that's the problem.
The way I feel, it's still in between Mike Sparks and JR.
Josh Clark answered every question we had. He wishes he knew more. He doesn't know more.
Josh Clark is rumored to have been involved in Selena McCoy's murder. He knew her and the other suspects and allegedly got rid of his car shortly afterwards. But in talking to him, it's very clear that he was a true good friend to Selena and only became guilty by association.
Everything that we've been running across has been rumors and innuendos, and we've been kind of knocking them down left and right.
I have no problems eliminating Josh at all.
I'm in concurrence with that.
Me too. Let's take him off. It is satisfying to once and for all eliminate Josh as a suspect. I kind of feel bad that he was even up here.
I think it's his house up here with the big pine tree.
This one here? We've eliminated one suspect, but we still have 4 on our board. How you doing? Hey, would you mind sitting in the truck and answering some questions? Thanks. You can sit in the front. I'll sit in the back here. We've tracked down one of Selena's best friends, Jerica. Hopefully she knows something more than just the town rumors. How would you describe Selena?
She was very fun and outgoing. She was very nice, friendly.
Do you remember the day she went missing?
I do remember the last time I saw her. She had bought, I forgot what type of car it was. And she was excited because she was happy she was finally getting a car. So she came down the street to pick me up to ride with her. And I couldn't because we was doing hair.
Did you know her boyfriend?
JR. She told me, you know, one day when she was walking home from my house, JR, he was hiding on the side. And she told me he came out the dark and grabbed and was choking until he gonna kill her. That really scared her.
What was that over, do you know?
The only thing that she really opened up about was her trying to, you know, leave him.
She was afraid of him. We've read reports of JR's abuse towards Selena, but Jerica's account of him threatening and choking her and Selena wanting to leave him paints him as more of a suspect than we initially thought and adds a potential motive if he didn't want Selena to leave him.
Somebody on the front porch already?
We haven't found any night of witnesses, but often in cold cases, the best evidence comes from right out of a suspect's mouth after the murder.
How you doing? What's up?
We're hoping that JR's ex-girlfriends can tell us more about his allegedly abusive behavior and what he may have told them about the night his girlfriend Selena was killed.
Tell me about your relationship with JR.
It was going good, but he started cheating on me with Selena after I got pregnant with my daughter. He was very mad at me because he got caught cheating.
Did he ever put his hands on you around your throat?
Yeah.
He ever threatened to kill you?
Yeah, he threatened to kill me over 10 to 15 times.
You real abusive now, I ain't gonna lie.
What did he do to you?
He had to peel on my face.
Okay, you're talking about like smothering you?
Yeah. There you go, he let me up. The case with Selena McCoy. What you know about the case? I don't know nothing about it.
Even though he's your baby's daddy, you would tell us the truth?
I would tell y'all the truth. He never said anything.
He ever tell you anything about Selena, what he did to her, beat her up?
He did.
These ex-girlfriends of JR paint a pretty horrific picture of his pattern of violence and domestic abuse before and after Selena's murder. Unfortunately, they don't know anything about what happened to Selena from talking to JR.
That's a neat-looking house, too. JR's exes might not know anything about Selena, but we know one person who does. His former best friend and running mate, suspect Michael Sparks.
This about the Selena case? Yeah. I gotta figure that.
How'd you figure that? Can we tell you? Michael initially told us that JR was out of town with another girlfriend named Vendella, known as Walla, on the weekend Selena was murdered, which we know is not true. The real question is, what's he going to tell us today?
We're trying to get down and figure what happened.
Well, man, I was with my friend Anthony Seals. He was in a relationship with Selena. They had broke up, and she went her way, he went his way. I can vouch that he wasn't even in town when it happened.
So did you go to the party at Gilmer Inn?
Yeah, I was there.
JR was there, right?
No, Anthony Seals wasn't there. Anthony Seals was in Macon, Brooklyn with his girl or whatever.
Well, here's the deal. Mom reports Selena missing around August 2nd. We know by August 3rd for sure she's missing. But Vendella says that JR doesn't show up till August 6th.
I remember the day vividly when the day he jumped in the truck with Vendella. But I don't specifically remember the specific date.
Michael's story doesn't match what we've heard. He's claiming that JR and Selena were broken up and that he was never actually at the hotel that night. But remember, Selena's dad actually saw JR at that hotel. JR ever ask you to lie for him?
No.
Would you lie for him?
No, hell no. A lot of people painting the picture like it was easy to say that he was the one that did it because they used to always get in domestic disputes in front of a lot of people.
How violent were their fights?
He'll slam her on the bed or push out for him.
Did you ever just ask JR what happened to Selena?
No, I didn't feel like I had to.
Did you hang around with D'Angelo Fisher? Think he might have had a thing for Selena?
No, I don't know. We was closing in, so like going behind each other's back, but that's something we didn't endorse.
If this is solved and there's other people involved, everybody can get charged. You understand?
That's been understood since I was 17 years old.
Michael claims not to know much. I'm not surprised based on the fact that he was a friend of JR, but I was certainly hoping for more. We'd like to solve this. You know what I'm saying?
And I would like for you to solve it. I only can give you what I know.
The only thing that I'm certain of right now is that if Michael knows more, he's not going to tell us today.
He was extremely relaxed.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
Take the second exit on Main Street.
We're on our way to talk to one of the suspects in this case, D'Angelo Fisher, who is currently incarcerated in a county jail.
We had interviews set up with one of the inmates.
D'Angelo allegedly had a crush on Selena, but he also implicated Selena's boyfriend, JR, in her murder, claiming that JR left for a few hours initially and then returned looking extremely upset. We're running out of potential leads, and we definitely need some luck right now. First of all, the relationship between JR and Selena, was it violent?
Yeah, they fight all the time.
Did you ever see him hit her?
Yeah, who ain't?
Did you ever have sex with her?
Hell no.
Just asking.
No.
Nothing?
No. We don't know.
If you were us, who would you look at as a suspect? You?
No, not me. Yeah.
You ever asked JR if he killed her?
No.
No? Like everyone else we've spoken to, D'Angelo never confronted JR about Selena's murder. Is that based on the fact that he knows JR is involved in the death of Selena? The fact that he doesn't want to know? Or the fact that he's afraid of JR? At this point, I just don't know. You gave a statement around that time. JR left for a little while and he comes back and he looks all shook up and then you got to smoke some dope with him to calm him down. You don't think that it had any relation when he left to go kill her and came back to you guys?
I don't know.
He's so shook up, you got no along with it. So what you think on that? I mean, come on.
I mean, he was shook up. You know what I'm saying? Now, he was looking like, I know he was mad. He was looking like he been calling for a night up. That's how angry he was looking.
And I mean, I know that's your boy. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all were close, but I mean,
that's been so long, man. It ain't got nothing to do with being my boy. I'm gonna say it one time, and I'm gonna look your way and say it. I wouldn't be surprised. All in fair.
We need to call and get our DNA results if y'all want to.
Sure.
And we need it, man. We need some DNA here.
We have a case filled with rumors and hearsay, and no one can give us a first-hand account of what happened that night with admissible evidence.
Sorensen Forensics, this is Emily.
If we're going to make something happen, we really need good news from the lab.
For the rope that was found around the victim's neck, no male DNA was detected on that. And it was actually the same for the scarf that was found around the victim's neck. We also got no male DNA detected.
It's heartbreaking that neither one of our murder weapons gave us any DNA results. Okay, Miss Emily, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What was already a tough case just got a heck of a lot harder.
I was hoping for a miracle.
So was I. We needed a miracle.
You want to go down to the police station where it's cooler?
No, put him up here. Let's get this going. We finally tracked down our main suspect in this case, JR. And while I would have loved to have interviewed him in an interrogation room to observe his body language, I can't give up this chance right now to interview him in this truck.
We're looking at Selena's case, whose name keeps popping up.
Everything we've heard about JR points to him being an abusive, violent boyfriend. We need JR's account of what happened the night we believe Selena disappeared.
Me and a friend of mine, Michael Sparks, we went over.
and she was there. Me and her had sex, and we had a little disagreement after that. We were breaking up. Neither one of us wanted to see each other walk away. But, you know, I had the upper hand, and I had it in her feelings, so I said, I'm leaving. I don't want you no more, I'm leaving. And then we left. I hadn't seen her for like 2 or 3 more days after that, and then they came and said that she was murdered.
Did you go looking for her at all?
No, I left it alone. I figured the police would do their job and find out the justice, get the justice.
Were you in love with her?
Yes.
Did you go to the funeral?
No, sir, I didn't.
Like for a girl you love?
Because the finger was being pointed at me because I was her boyfriend, and we fought. You know, we was always arguing and fighting in front of everybody.
When you used to physically fight with Selena, did you ever punch her?
No.
Did you? What'd you do?
I probably just rough her up, slap her thighs real hard. You know what I'm saying? Just rough her up.
Yeah.
Slap the back of her thighs or the front of her thighs, or push her head or something, knock her down, hold her down.
What if I told you we talked to a couple of women who told us that Selena told them that you choked her out until she passed out one time? Would that be a lie?
No, it wouldn't be a lie.
It wouldn't be a lie.
It wouldn't. We had got into an argument in front of her mother's house. She wanted to fight and argue, so I put my arm up against her neck and holding her up against the steps.
I see that.
When she took a breath and I see she got weak, I let her go.
What about the fact that Joshua Clark told us that you asked him to lie and say that you were at Walla's house the night that this incident happened and she went missing? Would that be a lie?
That would be a lie.
Well, how come Walla told us you never showed up until August 6th and she went missing on August 2nd? Is Walla lying too?
That don't add up to me.
It sure doesn't add up. We got some problems with it.
GR isn't shy about admitting that he choked Selena to the point that she almost passed out. Still, without any hard evidence to bring him in, our best bet is getting him to make a confession about this case right now.
So, you know, if I had a young girl, she's out there telling people that you don't have a job, you're a loser, bad clothes, she embarrasses you, one day you're just going to get fed up with that shit from this bitch. True or false?
True.
And one day you're going to hit her. True or false?
True.
And one day you're going to grab a rope and put it around her throat and just twist it until she shuts up. And then sometimes that goes too far. True or false?
False.
Oh, false. Okay.
And you understand how sensitive the neck is, right?
Yes, I do.
Accidents happen.
But I know I didn't.
And you know,
I know I did not put no rope around her neck.
If you made a mistake, now's the time to sit down and say it. Life in prison versus an accident.
Well, I'm not worried because I know I didn't do it. It wasn't an accident and it wasn't intentional. It wasn't me.
So D'Angelo says JR never made any admissions to it.
Right.
Did D'Angelo say he ever asked JR?
Did not ask.
Nobody asked.
Selena's case is tough, with multiple suspects who happen to be friends, who haven't given us any new information. Now we need to figure out where this case stands today.
Based on the interview you did with D'Angelo Fisher yesterday, do you believe that D'Angelo Fisher is involved in the murder of Selena?
With his demeanor and the way he talked about her, I don't think he had anything to do with it.
We asked him, did you kill Selena? Hell no. He had a girlfriend, all that. He said, you know, Selena wasn't kicking it with anybody else. It was just JR.
You want to take him off?
I do.
I don't think he had a direct knowledge of this murder.
D'Angelo Fisher was quite a bit older than this gang of friends and had his own life at the time. And while we believe that he was in the neighborhood when Selena was killed, we did not find any evidence that showed that he was involved or in any way participated in a cover-up.
Michael Sparks, JR's best friend.
Don't discount that Sparks was good friends with Selena. It isn't like his only loyalty is to JR.
We know that Michael Sparks lied for JR about his alibi that weekend. But like D'Angelo, we did not find any evidence to suggest that he was involved in Selena's murder.
I got no problems with taking him off.
Captain?
I'm saying I don't have no problem.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm good with it.
All right, Michael Sparks.
Unfortunately, we were not able to talk to Smooth this week, but we were able to talk to his mom, who confirmed for us that he is currently in a mental health institution out of state. Because of all the still unanswered rumors and speculation about Smooth all over this town, he has to stay on the suspect board.
All right, talking about JR. If we're going to build our case against JR, what's your first thing you're going to throw in the mix?
The history of domestic violence. He even demonstrates in the car when the captain or how he choked her.
I put my arm up against her neck, holding her up against the steps.
Then you got this 1 to 2 hour window.
If you kill somebody, you ain't coming back and gonna have the same demeanor. He's all shook up.
He was looking like he been calling for a night up. That's how angry he was looking.
So we got the window. You have a witness, but the witness is D'Angelo Fisher, sitting behind bars, locked up right now. It's unfortunate when a witness in a case also happens to be behind bars because their word just doesn't carry the same credibility as another witness's might. Do we think that there's enough probable cause to ask a DA to file a murder case against JR for the murder of Selena?
Not where we're at now. We don't meet that threshold.
We gotta have somebody in the circle
I know.
to push it over the edge.
If a brand new person comes in and says, he told me he did it, that's credible, that's not an ex-con, then maybe you can get somewhere. We worked so hard to try and find somebody in Selena's world who knew something factual and concrete about the night she was killed. And we found very little. Unfortunately, we are still missing critical pieces of evidence that might have pushed this case forward. What do you think you're going to tell Selena's dad?
We've done our best, and Columbus Police Department, we're not through with this. You know, it hurts me to this day that I can't give her a proper conclusion.
Justice.
Right.
It's devastating that we're not able to bring good news to Selena's daddy. But the Columbus Police Department is going to keep hope alive for him that maybe one day they can solve Selena's case.
The only way I'm going to be able to tell you about it is just going to be truthful and straightforward. We have put in a lot of time. We've talked to a lot of people. But at this point, we still don't have the probable cause to carry this over to a district attorney to get an indictment.
Whew. The last person seen with Selena is JR.
Hey, y'all question him?
Oh, yeah.
Hard.
Very hard.
Every single name in the file, and every time those people gave us another name, we talked to them. I'm sorry, Mr. Hudgens.
Lord, I promised my baby that she solve this case.
I think you need to tell your baby you're going to keep trying.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep trying.
And the good thing is he's going to keep trying. Maybe because all this is stirred up, one of those women now will go, you know what? That baby deserves justice, and I'm going to come knock on his door and tell what I know.
Hopefully somebody will come forward.
That's right.
I know she's here now. She knows what's going on. But, you know, I'm going to tell her we're not going to give up. We're going to keep on. Just want some answers. I want justice for Selena.
I wish we could have given you better news.
I appreciate everything y'all done. I appreciate everything.
I'm pretty sure right now he's thinking, just like we would all be thinking, that he can't believe we didn't get there. How come his baby's case isn't solved? Where's his justice? And I think we all understand that. He's not going to give up.
No, we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up. Thank you.
Maybe all this restarting it again will bring a brand new witness forward. You never know. We can only hope, and that's all he's got left to do is just hope.
I know it won't always be this hard.
I'm not gonna give up.
I know it won't always break your heart.